Here we have two sets of data that describe the midterm grades of 5 different students from 2 classes. And what we're asked to do is compare the range and standard deviation of each set. Now, one thing that we're told is both have a mean and average of 84.2, but what does it mean when we talk about the range and standard deviation? So let's go ahead and take a look and compare those and see what's going on here. So I've gone ahead and already typed in data for Class A right here. Remember, stat edit. So there's Class A data typed in. If you want to follow along with me, that's fine. Otherwise, what I'd recommend you do is why don't you start typing in Class B's data so we can compare our results. So range is not something the calculator will give us when we run our statistics thing, but range is really easy to find. Just take your high value and subtract your low value. So I've done that for each of these. And I can see right away the range of Class B is much higher. It's got a range of 30, a difference between the high and low of 30 points versus only 16 points in Class A. So anyway, let's compare the standard deviations. You could find that by hand, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. And our calculator will do it for us. We looked at this in a previous video, but I'll show you one more time. Press Stat. Go to Calc and then select that first option, one variable statistics. Go to Calculate and you'll get a whole lot of data here to look at. What we're looking at are these two values right here. Remember, use the first one if you're only dealing with a sample of your data. Use the bottom if you're using the entire population of data. We're told we're given scores from just 5 students, so it's just a sample of the class. So use that top standard deviation. So 6.34 about was our standard deviation. If you've run this on Class B, or if you could pause the video and try this for yourself, you'll see the standard deviation for Class B comes out to be 12.79. Well, comparing these two classes then, here's what we're seeing. The spread, the range of your data, the standard deviation also describes that range, is much higher in Class B, meaning Class B's data, even though it had the same middle, the same mean, was much more spread out. There was much more variance or much more difference from the high and the low score. So that's what I've done down here. In the next couple days, we'll take a look at creating graphs to look at this data, and we'll actually see that spread in a visual format. But for now, we can just take a look numerically. I can see my range is almost doubled. My standard deviation is almost doubled. And those are indications that your data is much more spread out, much more varied compared to Class A.